Hello and welcome to another edition of the Quick Picks show here on bookmakers.com TV. I'm Dean Ryan and I'm joined by the regulars of Darren Hughes, James Stoddart and Eoghan Gately, who's on for his second week in a row. We'll have four picks from the panel here, including myself, and we'll be going across the World Cup 22, of course, horse racing in the UK and Ireland, and NFL from the team at Rotowire. We're going to kick off. We'll go straight into the racing in the UK this weekend. Over to Darren Hughes, and it's the old Hennessy, the Coral Gold Cup. It's at Newbury on Saturday, Darren.
Yeah, the old Hennessy, the old Ladbrokes, the old anything but the actual sponsor of the race, Gold Cup. So I always refer to this race. Coral obviously have it now, and fair play to them for putting up the money. But yeah, the horse I fancy here is Lamilos, or Lamilos. I'm going to go with Lamilos for now. He's now trained by Dan Skelton, second run for the yard. He was previously with Tim Vaughan. Mentioned him on a couple of these before. I think he got up to a mark of the low 140s for Tim Vaughan before switching to Dan Skelton over the summer. Made his stable debut in Bangor, must be nearly 3 weeks ago now, in a race that I thought looked pretty good at the time. He bet Lord de Menil and asked me early into third. Fairly strong in the market that day, so I'd say that was expected. Got bumped up £8 to 150, but manages to run here, I should say, off a mark of 146 with a £4 winner's penalty. So straight away, he's immediately £4 well in just on the Bangor run. But I can see this lad improving a good bit more under Dan Skelton's tutelage. Ground shouldn't be a massive issue. He won on heavy in Bangor, and that was tough going. But he does have strong form on a better surface, so that's of no real concern to me. So he's 7 years of age. I'd say he's still improving, which you can't say for all of these in the race, and he's a lovely racing weight of 11 stone with Fanny and Destral keeping the weights down off a mark of 160. So he's about 8 to 1. Thing is, I think you should get in and around the same price on the morning of. So I'd say hold fire till then. You'll probably get an extra place or two as well. If this lad is out with the first 5 or 6, I'll eat my hat, barring disaster. And I really think he's strong claims to win the race.
What kind of hat would it be, Darren?
Panama.
Nice. Panama hat to be eaten after the Coral Gold Cup on Saturday. Or Lamilos will go and win at 8 to 1 or around plus 800. Exactly. That's at Newbury on Saturday at 3:05. Now, sticking with horse racing, we're crossing the water, though, because there's a big race at Navan on Sunday, James.
Yeah, it's Navan Chase on Sunday. And I fancy Flash the Towsine to win this. Hopefully, he isn't wooden like the one of Troy, but so this horse is a relatively unexposed chaser. It's only ran 5 times, and last time out really did look like the penny dropped. Went over 2 miles, 6.5, just a slightly shorter trip, but it was at Galway, so there's the hill at the end that it had to take care of. It beat Real Steel by 8 lengths, which is a nice run, and it went up £9 for that. But it's only a 7-year-old and only have 5 runs, so they should have a lot more to give. Should be still relatively unexposed. Also like the fact that it's actually had a run this season. There's a lot of horses in this race that haven't, and horses that have had a run generally do better in this race than ones that haven't, with it being early in the season. At Navan, it also went slightly left towards the end of the race, but at Galway it went slightly left towards the end of the race, but at Navan that shouldn't be a problem because there's obviously left-handed track, right-handed last time, so should be able to hug that inside rail. Late on, as I did go kind of veering towards the stand side. Maybe that was a bit of the crowd, but we'll see. Again, it's just 16 to 1, and I think there's a lot of exposed horses in this race. You see horses like Far Class that raced in it last season, a lot of those types. I think this could improve past a few of them. At 16 to 1, I think it's got a good chance.
Okay, 16 to 1 plus 1600. That is Flash the Tuesday, the Troytown Chase at Navan on Sunday at 2:20 UK time. Okay, it's time for some World Cup action. Eoghan, over to you. Where are we going? What game are we taking it?
So we're looking at Saturday, 4 p.m. game. Big enough one. Clash of the Titans in Group D between France and Denmark. Now, Denmark did have that lackluster start on 0-0 with Tunisia during the week. However, I'm backing Denmark to win this one. Obviously, with the amount of injuries that the French team has had, I would not be convinced by that French midfield at all, and that is an area that we know that the Danes can be dominant in. Fair enough, Rabiot had a goal and assist. I've never been convinced by him at club level, at international level. I just don't think he has enough to get over the line. I think Kasper Hjumlin, the Danish head coach, would have berated the lads and really, got them focused because they have a great opportunity to top this group. Fair enough, it took a stumble because of that draw, but realistically, the only way they win that group is with a win over France. The Danish defence, far more organised than the Socceroos, so they're not going to get the same number and the same quality of opportunities that obviously they had against Australia. And I think one important thing to note is that France and Denmark have met 3 times since the last World Cup. France have never won. They met twice this year in 2022, with Denmark winning 2-0 in June, or 2-1 in June and 2-0 in September. And then they obviously drew with the 2018 World Cup. And I just think that Denmark have enough to get over the line here, to get 3 points, to get their campaign back on track, and that they could actually finish top of the group with 7 points.
Okay, Denmark to beat the French, Saturday, 4 p.m. UK time in that World Cup matchup. Currently around 7-2 or plus 350. Now we're on to the host banker. I'm sticking with the World Cup as well. Everyone has seen Argentina lose to Saudi Arabia. The absolute shame of it, the nightmare start for one of the pre-tournament favourites. And of course, Lionel Messi's final legacy tournament as it's becoming known. But what a stuttering start. You will see fire and bluster from the Argentinians this weekend. Mexico are up next in the evening game, UK time, on Saturday night. And they're going to get a helping of absolute Argentine anger, I think. You should take the 4-7 or the -175 about an Argentinian masterclass and a victory. But as a side interest, I do expect fireworks on the pitch in terms of tackles and aggression in this game. I fancy a red card. Very likely. I think we're due a few actually in this World Cup. This does look the game to take that on. That's around 4-1 or plus 400, but it's not the main bet. The host banker obviously has to be one that is a guarantee. And the guarantee here is Argentina will win at 4-7 or -175. Saturday, 7 p.m. UK time in the World Cup, Argentina against Mexico. Now, all the bets from this week on the Quick Pick Show on bookmakers.com TV are on your screen now. If you're getting involved, best of luck. We'll be back next week with more.